What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this is my review recap for The Chi Season 3, Episode 9, Lacking. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'm going to give a recap of the episode, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my real talk review take on what I thought and what I felt about the episode. Now, this episode 9, it's only one more episode left in The Chi Season 3. I'm wondering, is it going to be a Season 4? Because a lot has happened to the main characters and the main storyline, and at the end of this recap, you'll see what I mean. Now, let's get into it. We see Keisha is having a problem sleeping, tossing and turning, having nightmares. She pops up. She's got some type of breathing app or something on her phone. So she pulls that out and is trying to tell her to breathe, count to whatever and breathe. Kev hear her tossing and turning. He come to check on her. She tell him get up out of her room. She don't want to hear it. He's like, you still mad about whatever? She like, Kev, you need to get up out of here. And so he mad. So he leave with his little lips poked out. Meanwhile, we see that Nina and Dre is trying to have a little cuddle time. They walking and strolling and trying to bond on things. Meanwhile, we see that Emmett is trying to clean up Sonny's getting a little stuff from up under the table, but then he's having ideas and getting sidetracked because he see Dom Dada sitting there and it looked like he thinking about putting rump roast on the menu. And so then we see his girl see him and then he like, she said, what you thinking about? Nothing. I'm just trying to think of the name. And they trying to come up with names. She like Emmett and Dom. She like, no, that's bad luck. See what happened to Sonny? They like, yeah, true story. Even though that ain't what happened to Sonny. He got robbed. Anyway, we see he say, we got to come up with something, but I need to be inspired. She say, well, let me know if you need some inspiration. And Tiff didn't like that. And even Mom Dukes picked up on that. Like, you don't need no inspiration like that. Meanwhile, we see old Rail and he's sitting in there in the little hole in the wall and he trying to preach, but there's some young thug in there that look out of place. Meanwhile, they talking about Ronnie Davis did good in the hood and how people wasn't there for him, but how the Lord was, and how he's trying to make amends and turn better cheek. And then dude get up and like, man, saving that I itch ain't me, I itch. And he's still a killer. And he get out just like Malcolm X, get your hand out my pocket style, and cause a commotion and leave. So they say, oh, ignore him. Ronald Davis, you all right. You done good. He said, well, hey, look, I appreciate it, but hey, it don't loyal faith in me. Tracy come up, give him a little money and stuff. He, thank you, I appreciate it. She say she was there for him. Then we see Doodah and we see Rose offer $5,000 for him, and every time Doodah try to talk, she cut him off. So Ronnie rolling in the money. Meanwhile, we see Emmett is sitting there trying to come up with a name. Tiff come over to talk to him. He kind of get a little lovey-dovey, huggy, squeezy, and he kept her on the side. And he start talking to her, saying, you always been there for me. I love you. She say, yeah, you better not forget it. They coming up with names. He ain't coming up with nothing that was inspiring yet. And so he basically trying to stay good graces with her in the meantime. Now we see Keisha. She walking all on her lonesome, but Kev trying to keep up. And she trying to tell him, I don't need you to follow me. And he like, look, I ain't gonna let you be out here by yourself. She like, hey Kev, look, I ain't gonna get kidnapped again. And then as soon as she say that, she start having flashbacks, different stuff, and she have a little panic attack. Can't move. Kev there for her. Next thing you know, they rolling up into the Tampico, and she's like, look, I'm getting some tampons. You don't need to roll with me. And he like, all right, well, I'm gonna be here. She like, you know what? That's messed up. You said I heard you. Did you wish I wasn't back? He like, I didn't mean that. She like, whatever. Meanwhile, we see old dude that day. He in there trying to campaign away, talking about fixing potholes and stuff. And she like, hey, come here. And he like, hey, let's stick to the script. She say, I wrote the script. Anyway, it's better than talking about potholes. He say, hey, look, I'm trying to help. You talking about reparations. White folks gonna go crazy. Then old Rail come. He like, hey, how you doing over there? Let me talk to you. And so Pastor Cavassier want to talk to him. And he like, hey, you mind if I get a little time with your associate? I mean, she was a help, a good good teacher. And he say, oh yeah, she does know how to teach those lessons, don't she? Meanwhile, we see that Ronnie and Chubbs is talking, and they like, what you gonna do with your money? I would buy 1,000, 5,000 burgers. He say, well, I don't know. I will get some liquor, but now I think I'm gonna go with my friends and get a job. And then everybody come congratulate old Ronnie. Meanwhile, we see Dom Dada is sitting there cooking and everything. Emmett come, he like, we need to talk. She say, for what? He says, hey, look, we need to talk about what happened. She say, why? What? Because I ain't trying to slob on Bob. You think it need to be something? It didn't mean nothing to me. It means something to you. He like, no, it ain't mean nothing. I never cheat on I never do my girl wrong. She like, I ain't say you was. And then he got a little attitude. And then right when they did that, Mom Dukes walk up, so she pick up that they got a little something talking about. Meanwhile, we see Tracy waiting outside the storefront, and while Day tell Rose, hey, don't bring your ass with me to the north side. Take your ass home. I'm tired of you. You need to stick to the script. I'm the candidate, not you. She basically was feeling like she was running things. Ronnie come out. He see Tracy. I thought you been left. She said, I had to leave before that collection plate came, but I wanted to talk to you. You want to go and see your grandbaby? Ronnie was minding his own business about to leave. She waited, asked him if she wanted to see the grandbaby. But that would be nice. Okay, let's do it. Tracy's so fine. How could you resist that smile? Meanwhile, we see that the old Benz is getting the alarm off, and so Trigg chases some dude down the street calling him a crackhead. Jake like, man, he ain't no crackhead. He with the 63rd Street mob. He like, what? And so he say, well, he ain't take nothing. He say, yeah, but he must have did something else. So he looked, and next thing you know, he see a bag of devil's dandruff up under the seat. And so he say, yeah, what is this right here doing? Somebody trying to set me up. And so we see that the ladies is having a little powwow. They all talking about what's going on and they burdens and everything, and they trying to open up with each other. And so they about to share their feelings, a little Care Bear share moment. And so Nina telling Dre what she worried about the kids and their relationship, and Dre talking about she gonna be there for them, and they all booed up. So I guess they back together again and everything's great. Meanwhile, we see back at Sonny's that they putting up the lights and they trying to get things together. And then Jada say, what's up with you and Dom? He say, oh, nothing. We was just talking about the name. She say, I don't believe you. You hit it? And he like, no, I ain't do it. She say, I don't believe you. Well, let me tell you something. It don't mean nothing. When I did, it just let me know how much I love Tips. She say, boy, you crazy. He like, no, I'm cured for real. She like, you don't need to tell me. You ain't with me. Meanwhile, we see Ronnie and he with Tracy, and he, take my grandma. I'm glad you came. And she say, yeah, I know she ain't like me. And he like, no, she just like me better. And so he go ahead. Last time we was here, before I went off to the army, Grandma, I love you. Nobody ever loved me like you. And he almost shed a tear for Grandma. And then he went on ahead and poured out a little ashes into the little water. It looked like they was over in the Oriental Gardens, but I couldn't really tell. And he go ahead and let it marinate, and now Grandma's part of the gardens. Meanwhile, we see Keisha on the toilet, and she's sitting there trying to take some type of birth control thing. You can see it on the counter. And so then we see Kev, he ain't paying attention to nothing. When Mom come in, he pop up, he ready to go. She, where you going? Oh, I'm going to help Emmett. And so I'm so tired of him telling me where he doing instead of asking. Keisha come out, next thing you know, she holding the birth control, and Mom Dukes and everybody know what that means, that she got a bun in the oven and it ain't no recipe that she wanted. Meanwhile, we see Trigg and Jake, and they talking, and then he's like, hey, look, if something happening, you need to get up out of there. And so he pulls off and let Jake go on a little suicide mission inside Day's fortress. So we see Jake, he's in there trying to infiltrate the safe. He don't know what the hell he doing, pushing buttons, and don't know any kind of clue. And so Rose looking at him, shaking her head like he's dummy. She say, what you doing? And so then he turned around looking stupid, and she say, how you gonna try to break into a safe? You don't know the code. And then she gives him the code. And that's the thing, you don't want a woman scoring close to you, and that's what's happening with Duda and Rose. And so now he got some info up out of there. Meanwhile, we see that the ladies trying to console Keisha. They say, hey, look, don't worry about it. We gonna take care of this. you won't have to deal with this. She say, I want to get rid of this as soon as possible. And so she's just hurt. It's a lot to deal with. I'm surprised the hospital didn't get rid of that and take care of it. Meanwhile, we see that Ronnie and Tracy is walking. I don't know what happened to her car, but it seemed they gotta walk every damn where. So they bonding over Thanksgiving and memories past and things. And the way it was going, I'm thinking Tracy about to invite him into the candy store and maybe you get a lollipop or something. I don't know, but it ended up that they just kind of reminisce, bonded, real platonic. She didn't even give him a hug. And so anyway, we see that Emmett is still at the store trying to get his little tablet cash register together, and we see that Kev puts it together and helps him. He said he know how to do it from school, and he called Emmett old, and he was telling him, hey, about the name, just keep it simple. Emmett is worrying about too much, and so he bounces. Emmett is sitting there contemplating about his name and future. He get home, he see his girl, his baby. He's starting to think, you know what? It's time to do the right thing like Spike Lee. And so he decide he gonna go to a pawn shop, even though he broke as a joke. He go in there and we see this old young stallion cougar. She like, what you need there, boy? He say, well, I'm trying to get an engagement ring. How much you trying to spend? Let me get that one, 500. She like, oh, you need more than 500. Give me 500 in that watch. And you gotta, what my dead cousin gave me this, so you want the ring or what? So meanwhile, we say Dom, she over there marinating that meat, if you know what I mean. And so we see that Tiff is bringing in boxes, and she like, why Emmett got you doing all that? You know he tripping. Yeah, I know. He called both of them outside. He like, look at the name, Smokey's Barbecue. They like, oh, Smokey from Friday. I get it. He like, no, ain't no Smokey from Friday. And Dom go back inside with that donkey. And so she like, no, that's Smokey Robinson, girl. Meanwhile, we see that Ronnie playing with his grandbaby, having a good time. Everybody is just bonding. He having a good day. She talking about she want to put the baby in private school without hesitation. He done pulled out his check, handed it over to her. I don't know if he signed it back. Nevertheless, she like, damn. And that's messed up that a homeless man to give you the shirt off his back or his last little dollar. I mean, he was really trying to do right. He really was. And while he was leaving, he was about to go. And she like, you want to go and get some barbecue from Emmett's? Well, I could use a little cue, but I don't know. Come on. And it's hard to resist Tracy. Meanwhile, we see that Kev is getting to stop text me from Gemma because her dad is checking. Akeisha want him to run with her. He don't want to run. He say she always leave her. She say she's scared to go by herself. So he go. She's running like Forrest Gump. He talking about, Keisha, wait. Hold up, Keisha. She think it's funny. She in a little groove running till we see the bus stop. Next thing you know, the trauma hits. And I'm wondering, why don't she just run into gym membership or something? Why running outside where this trauma comes? Nevertheless, she sit outside and try to get a little air. Kev come console her. They have a little bonding moment. Meanwhile, out at Emmett's, he having the grand opening. Him and Dom, they got people there. He about to cut the ribbon. They talking about make sure y'all trend so we on Oprah's favorite things. Meanwhile, he like, hey, thanks everybody, but before y'all come in, hold up, I gotta do something. And this fool gets down on one knee and proposes to Tiffany in front of Dom, who he just smashed just a few days ago, and his other baby mamas who's there with his other kids. I know that's gotta make them feel some kind of way. And his mama, who knows he's a hot mess. And he's talking about, oh, you've been there for me and I love you and this and that. And I know everybody damn near in the crowd is like, this Negro full of crap. But nevertheless, he went on ahead and proposed, got down on the bended knee like boys to men, and he said, I'm ready to build a home, this, that, and the other. And next thing you know, she said, I do. They hug. I'm like, Meanwhile, they go inside, everybody ready to smash, get some food, get their grub on. She's showing off the ring. She's so happy. Jada like, ain't nothing wrong with a long engagement, okay? Don't rush. She like, hey, Meanwhile, he like, let me talk to you, old rail. More like third rail, little rail. And he like, yeah. He say, why you tell G Herbo they can eat for free? He say, man, he got 4 million followers, man. You know how much that is? He say, hey, man, let me talk to him. He go over to talk to to him. He like, what's up? He like, yeah, this food fire, man. He like, oh yeah. He like, what you want to say? I'm a big fan, man. That's all. Can I get a selfie, bro, for the gram? Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Meanwhile, we see Darnell come late. What was I miss? What you miss? Your son just got engaged. Got engaged to who? His baby mama. Which one? Which one you think? Oh, Scorpio. Okay, yeah, she cheating. What you mean? She ain't the one cheating. Well, I heard she wasn't handling her wifely duties. For all I heard, she say you a mess. No, what I am is hungry. Meanwhile, we see that Trig and Jake is coming up to the office of Camille with this paperwork they got from Duda. And they like, here you go. And so they had a little confrontation at first for no reason. And then he's reading it and he like, what do we do to deserve this? Nothing. Nothing at all. And then they just walk off into the wind and leave. And so now they got a bunch of new information to use against Duda. Meanwhile, Emmett checking on Dom. Hey, I'm just making sure you all right. You making all the food with love. I make everything and do everything with love. You know that. He like, okay. All right, Darnell come. Hey, man, what's up? Hey, you ain't supposed to be back here. Hey, I just want to see the cook. And oh man, you must be Dom. She say, you must be Darnell. Yeah, look at that, 2 D's. It's like we go together, ain't that right? Oh, look at you. Yeah, I don't need no discount. I'm paying full price for that, boy. You got rump roast on the menu now. Oh my goodness. Hey, what's up, baby? How you doing? And she's smiling. Okay, I see where Emmett get his looks from. That ain't all he got from me. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, they showing off the ring. He like, kind of small. She like, I like it. He's like, look like a pawn shop ring. They just hating on Emmett, and he's smiling, thinking it's good news. Nah, brother, it's nothing but salt in your game right now, fool. And so, meanwhile, we see that Keisha's looking up what to expect during the first weeks of pregnancy, and mom's like, what are you doing? You have a change of heart? No, I just wanted to know. She said, Keisha, it's okay. We're going to take care of this as soon as possible. Which I'm wondering why they didn't drive down there the very next day or the same day. But nevertheless, we see that Ronnie is down there to get a little Q up in him. We see people shaking his hand like he the new heavyweight champ because he a hero. Ronnie get the first service, and one dude, how he get to come first? And like, hey man, this dude a hero, man. Come on. Hey man, let me get the hero for the hero. What you want? It's on me. And so we see that Kev that made some like nice little thing to get Jimma's attention. I miss you with some type of straws, and we see that Ronnie and everybody outside eating, which I'm surprised all these people outside eating in the cold. That's rare, but they all eating. Kev, he happy that Jim and them replied. That means slide in the DMs. We see Emmett coming out basking in the success of the grand opening of his stolen restaurant. Ronnie done cleaned his plate. He's over there smiling. He ready to clean some dessert from the candy store from Tracy if he lucky. They hugged up. Next thing you know, we hear somebody walking up behind them, and boom, it's over. Just like in real life, sometimes you never know when it's coming and you never expect it. And this dude was some type of long lost friend, a kooky we never heard, seen about, shot Ronnie, popped his muffin top back blue, and that was all she wrote. And no, we never heard of this person or any of Kookie's friends, because from what we knew, he was somewhat of a loner. We didn't know he had any friends, but sometimes it be like that in the Chi. You don't always know who knows who, just like how all these people are interconnected and know each other. Well, that's how it goes down. Now it's time for some real talk. I like this episode because it did have a lot of realism in it. It was unfortunate, but that's how it be sometimes. You never know who you had a grudge with, who's looking for revenge or anything. And unfortunately, it comes when you least expect it, you least thinking about it. Yeah, we are upset because it's been 2 years and nobody's heard nothing about it, and why they gonna get him when he trying to do good, when he was outside living the bum life and they just left him alone living that bum life. But sometimes it be like that. It's unfortunate, and I don't know if it all makes sense story wise, but people do get popped like that. Then they trying to shoot, get revenge, make mistakes, shoot other people. People get shot, and stuff like that go down in the Chi realistically all the time. It's just not always random. It's people that have beef with other people. You didn't shot somebody I know, whatever the case. And so that was unfortunate. And Tracy is a lot to blame because she the one that worked him up to go and kill Jason in the first place. He wanted to wait for the cops. She talking about the cops ain't gonna do nothing. What you gonna do? Yeah, she wasn't in her right state, but he was drunk. You know, I had the oil in me and she worked me up. She had the oil bubbling. She had that oil bubbling. So you never know. Neither one of them was in their right minds. If you think about it, Ronnie really wasn't doing too much that we know of before this. Now, he was Detective Cruz' informant, but we never knew how depth of what that was and what happened and everything. So, from what we know, Ronnie made that mistake. He was paying for it. He's been shot before by Kev. Tracy kind of worked him up into that. He would have been gone out the city if it wasn't for Tracy, but at the same time, it wasn't like she set him up and did it on purpose. Now it's time for Emmett. This is a damn fool. Why he can't keep his eyes off Dada, which is understandable. He shouldn't have proposed in front of all of those people. He should have proposed in front of a different crowd of people because that made him look bad. And of course, a lot of those people are going to hate on him. And so I feel that that was a bad move on his part. And also, I love Darnell, his father. He's pretty cool, and he actually reminds me of a real Chicago type dude. I'm not saying everything he say is right, but I mean, it is a realistic character. And what's up with Papa's daddy? Is he getting hoes from Duda? Talking about some teach me a lesson? I mean, what is he doing? I think he getting pimped out. And that's why he didn't switch. And why is his church so important when he only got 50 people? You going to spend all this time trying to get a message out to 50 people? They don't go to small hole in the wall churches. I'm not saying that their message ain't real. It's just that they don't have enough time to be spending talking to 50 people that are not rich. They not influential. I could see if it was a power dinner or something where, you know, it's nothing but the elite 50 or 100 people or whatever. These people is broke and it ain't a lot of them. So it ain't going to make a difference. So they normally go to bigger churches. So I don't know what's up with this little ass church. And what's up with Keisha? And they're not really providing any type of help for her, just winging it. And why does she keep going outside? They need to get this girl a gym membership. And they need to buy a damn car. Why does she not know how to drive? Why does she not have a car? Why is she walking every damn where? Why don't they buy this damn girl a car? Okay? And why was she on the bus? I mean, I know she over 16. She should be driving. And that's what they should be working on. Get her the hell up off the street. Okay, so she will stop being so traumatized, give her a little more independence and security, and then she can go other places, do other things. And I wonder what the hell is Jake gonna do when Duda find out that they didn't send that information over to Camille. I'm wondering how that's gonna all turn out. And with Rose, maybe Duda, I think Rose did it, because how could Jake do it when he didn't have the key and the code? And it's funny how as soon as Ronnie got money, Tracy was back in his life and people was there for him. I kind of feel bad for Ronnie. I wish he was able to turn the corner and do better in his life. But hey, things happen. When things happen to me, I didn't know that day that was going to be the last day of my life that way or whatever. And that's just how it goes. And at least he had to go, just like the Joker said, if you got to go with a smile. And at least he had a smile on his face. It would have been happy if he'd have died with a little taste too from the candy store from Tracy. But hey, you can't have it all, right? And then I liked that episode. It was kind of messed up. I saw that something was going to happen to Ronnie, but I thought he'd probably move away or something. I didn't know that they was going to pop his top. But hey, it is what it is. In the end, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my review, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.